How's it going, C&M world? This is Anthony back, and this is season 7, episode 9. All right, last episode of the season, and get ready for season 8. This journey just gets a little bit more and more interesting, throughout the time. But yeah, from where I left off at the last episode, um, I was one of the hardest working people in rehab. I could I could already plead guilty on that one because I remember I would be the one going into other people's rooms, getting to know them, getting to know more about them, telling them about my channel, getting them to subscribe, um, pretty much just talking to them, really getting to know them so that they can know who Anthony was on top of the injury. Like I wanted them to meet me, how I am right now on the walker and stuff. That's what I wanted them to meet. I want them to see how I was humbly, spiritually, physically. Everything that I know right now. I wanted them to actually know who I was, and and then other ones that work there, like therapists or nurses or CNAs. I would give them my channel to subscribe so they could keep up with my journey. That's because one minute you see me here with everybody else, living on a wheelchair, and 3 years go by, and you could go and check up on the person. Oh yeah, I remember him. Let me see what's up with him. I remember I subscribed to his YouTube channel. You never know how you could go back to it and use it. But yeah, so I got to subscribe for that reason. Um, from there, I would just roll around and go to therapy. I would try to go to therapy as much as I could, and I would tell them like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna just be over here on the corner doing my thing. I'm gonna just be lifting some dumbbells. That's it. But since I had the bands on, I was actually cheating in reality. But I would still do that, and they would be cool with it. So I was like, all right, sounds good. I'm just gonna do that. And like I say, I think that's why my biceps grew so big when I was in rehab, and that's how I learned that you're in control of how you want to look. And the reason I say that is because when I was in rehab, I was lifting heavier weight and less reps, and my biceps grew 4.5 inches. Meaning that if I toned down the weight and I started doing less weight, more reps, now I'm flipping the switch on the muscle growth. So now I'm going to end up getting leaner and making the build more shredded instead of bulky, you know? And and that's the way of using the bands that I talk about, or that I use to heal, because that was the whole time during rehab what I learned, that having that going on my thigh and having that blood rush, from going from rushing normal to rushing down the thigh, having that happen ended up healing my leg so that I could end up being out of rehab in less than 2 months. And being to be at a getting to be at a rehab, I was on a whole another journey that they trained me for, of course, but it was a whole another journey because now it's like, oh man, now I gotta learn to transfer to this commode. Commode's like a portable toilet, so I had to transfer. I know it's explain. Sorry, but I had to learn to transfer to this commode so I could go to the bathroom And then from there, I had to literally transfer to the wheelchair and then have to be able to wheel myself out and do everything on the wheelchair. Because I was down on my good leg, and I I couldn't use it. I couldn't use it at all. And it sucked. But it was a hard, what, 3 months of, yeah, it was a little bit hard work, but I ended up getting through it. And those are situations that I don't think about, that I went through, that I did get through, that I don't give myself credit for. But yeah, those 3 months, they were all work, no play for me. Work to get back up, work to get my independency of being able to get up, go to the gym whenever the heck I feel. You know, work to pretty much be independent enough to a point where I could be like, all right, I'm out. I got an Uber ride that's gonna come get me to take me to this place or whatever. That's stuff that I don't appreciate when I'm good like I am right now. I don't appreciate those moments, which I should, because I got to think back of how it felt not being able to do those things, being able to be stuck in the freaking house, either just plugging into watching TV or being on your damn phone. That's it. That's all there is to do. I know that I could have been more productive. I could have been practicing my writing, perhaps. Little things as far as that. Working on your brain, maybe reading a book. Now, oh yeah, I would use that time for that productive, that for that productiveness. I think that's how you say it. But yes, like I said, you don't really realize things till after. But but yeah, and so we ended up ending with, like I said, it was a crazy rehab trip. Um, I'm thankful to all the people that went out and visited me when I was in that situation. Uh, I'm glad that I used the bands for what they're worth, because, I mean, yeah, I would have still got out of that situation, but I don't think I would have healed as fast as I healed. Not only that, but healed my bones and my tissues and my uh, ligaments that had in my thigh. To pretty much get back to where I'm at right now. Like, I feel like if I would have never been introduced to those bands, I feel like, yeah, I would have healed, but I would have took. I don't know. I feel kind of like Superman, because I feel like I would have still healed, but I would have healed way slower. I probably would have healed like in probably what the therapist predicted. 18 weeks, and from there, one of them had predicted 2 years, which that one, yeah, I would believe it after with what I went through, and remember the pain that I still had after. Yeah, because honestly, even till the day, sometimes if I sit some sort of way and like the right angle and stuff, it comes back, and I feel the pain of what it felt when it was broken a little bit, not as severe, but a little bit, and then I'm just like, oh, and I want to switch the mode to more of a comfortable mode, because feeling that, the more I stay there, the more painful that it gets. But yeah, and like I said, me using those bands, I feel like sped up the recovery to a point where it actually took care of healing the inside and the outside, you know, and that happening just sped it up natural, because it's speeding up the healing process. It's not doing nothing illegal, and from there, it helps you get over that hump faster. Because by less than 5 months, I was up and I was manifesting what I originally saw in my vision. That was me walking around, being at the gym, doing my exercises. And that's exactly what ended up happening, you know? So stay tuned for season 8. It's coming up next. And that is the end to close up season 7, episode 9. Thank you so much. Go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Comment down on the video what you think. And stay tuned for next week for the next one, alright? Thanks, Anthony out.